Welcome all you beautiful souls. I am tuning in. We're just going to do a little bit of an energy check. We are, of course, in between the eclipses. We had the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, and then the access point of that is Gemini. That solar eclipse will be taking place on June 10th. It is a new moon, and it will be a Gemini. That means the moon and the sun will be side by side, and this makes for a solar eclipse. This will be happening at 19 degrees 47 seconds. So I'm just tuning into the energy of June. I know for me, which is wonderful, this eclipse season has provided, actually started in Taurus season for me, where I just really needed to be out in nature. I've been outside a lot. I've been doing a lot of focusing, you know, on myself, which is good because there's so much information going on out there. A lot of help with these eclipses to reveal the things that are untruths. And because we are talking about the access point of Gemini and Sagittarius, it's about, you know, changing our, being open to shifting our perspectives. It's about letting go of belief systems. A lot of us are finding the dismantling of the structures that many of us were taught. You know, Gemini is about youth. It's about siblings. It's about the young learning. And a lot of us are having this realization that we've all been pretty much punked and lied to. And so I'm really thankful to be focusing on my own well-being, the things that I value in life, the things that bring me peace, that bring me comfort, and really breaking free from allowing them structures, whether it be pharmaceutical, religion, government, dictate and dominate over how we live our lives. You know, we have a human experience, very short-lived, being spiritual beings. So I feel like this is some major opportunities in between these eclipses to just really assimilate. When we think about Gemini, we're thinking about, you know, our intellect and our mind. And because the moon rules Cancer, that's about home and hearth and the heart chakra. And so I feel with this portal that's in between the eclipses that many of us have an opportunity to, you know, really, how do I want to say this? Integrate our thoughts and our intellect with our hearts, you know, and really going by our own internal compass in the heart space, because for far too long, many of us have been asleep at the wheel, not realizing that we were being controlled and dominated and dictated. And a lot of those that are basically liars are starting to be revealed. So there can be an information overload. And what I've found personally within myself is my nodes are the opposite of what the current nodes are. That nodal energy is a collective energy. We have the North Node and South Node in Gemini and Sagittarius, where we're needing to rethink our belief systems and to change our perspectives. And I am actually the opposite. My North Node is in Sagittarius, so I feel like unintentionally, but very divinely guided to disconnect from a lot of information, which has been very beneficial. I've been outside grounding and earthing and tending to the animals on my little farm here. And so before I came on, I was reflecting upon that. And so I really have always on my channel encouraged everybody to follow their own compass, to follow their true north. So that includes listening to what you need to either refrain from. And we do have Mercury Retrograde currently today. I'm coming to you on June 2nd. And Venus has made her way into the sign of Cancer. So that might soften up a little bit of the energy that we've all been experiencing on the collective with the Saturn-Uranus square, which is breaking away from the old structures that were kind of top down, trying to be innovative and finding new ways of doing things, because obviously on the collective, how it's been working and rolling has not worked. So what else? Okay, June. So we're just going to tap into the energy a little bit for the first couple of weeks of June. And June shares the energy of Gemini and also Cancer. So again, I feel like it's this merging of our minds and our hearts with those two energies. I want to share also the correspondence for the energy of June off of my beautiful astrological calendar with everybody. So the stone that is the correspondent for the first couple of weeks of June is the pearl and chalcedony. Haven't heard of that crystal. The animal is the deer and the eagle. And the flower is the rose. And of course, the first couple of weeks, again, will still be in Gemini season. So that's why I'm sharing that. I find it interesting that the animal totems for the first couple of weeks are deer and eagle, because a deer is very graceful. If you're around them like I am, they're light on their foot. They can move through the woods if they want to, very quietly, very sure-footed, very graceful. And then the eagle, of course, I always see as getting the bird's eye perspective to look at everything that may be going on the earth plane from a higher perspective, a spiritual perspective, from a space of bringing forth your wisdom at this time would be beneficial. And currently today we do have again, Venus enters Cancer, but then the moon will enter the sign of Aries tomorrow at 1:59. So we're just really processing and letting go of a lot of belief systems. I know for me, being ruled by Mercury, because I am a sun sign Virgo, this has been such a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for me to just get outside. I mean, there's many times where I don't even take my phone with me. I'm just outside for hours, earthing and grounding, because that is another beneficial thing right now with all of this information, and can be busy intellect because we have Mercury retrograde right now. Which planets besides Mercury are all retrograde? We have Mercury retrograde, Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius, Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn. So those dark hidden things in the structures are now being revealed, because we're going back over grounds where there was, possibly lies from the top-down authority are being revealed. And I know if you have been paying any attention, those people early on in 2020, when this whole pandemic was rolled out, were the ones that were steering everybody, because they had an agenda. And I always say, like, bring on, like, if only the liars actually had their noses grow, right? So basically it's a matter of renewal, redoing, revisiting information because of Mercury retrograde in Gemini. So we could be going over, in the benefit, I don't shame any retrogrades, because it gives us the opportunity for renewal ultimately on the higher aspect. As I always share with astrology, there's a lower and a higher aspect. It's always up to us, to get on our paths and follow our true north. So I love with the energy of the retrogrades, because although it can cause delays with technology, with communication, communication can be taken the wrong way, and we have to pay attention to that as well, because of the sensitivities that many people, watching what you're saying, how you're saying it. Again, you can never predict how somebody else is going to receive the information. Just be mindful of your words at this time. And I love the opportunities with the retrogrades, because it does give us ultimately the opportunity to redo something, leveling up in a better way for ourselves. It gives us a chance to really tap into a renewal. And I feel with it being in Gemini, it's a lot of the intellectual processing of information. And I always say, stay open, until you're shown proof or whatever, because a lot of things that we've been witnessing with the nodal access being in Gemini and Sagittarius was a lot of information. Even I don't listen to any mainstream, but even alternatives were just so much information and everybody's assumptions on what was next and what's happening. And I did great personally for myself to disconnect from a lot of that. And it's been definitely very well for my well-being to focus on my own values, to focus on my own, what I really believe, what I find value in. And so the opportunity is there for all of us. And so I just wanted to share that. We're going to go ahead and do some cards, and I will be doing a solar eclipse in Gemini Sabian symbol in the near future here. Again, I've been really enjoying getting grounded, and it doesn't matter which sign you are. That could be very beneficial for all of us at this time, is to just, you know, disconnect from so much of the information overload, whether it be mainstream media or alternative. I know it's definitely been great for me personally, and that's why I'm sharing that with you guys today, because I haven't been tuning in because my heart hasn't been being here, but I have been finding myself literally in this nurturing mode of not only myself, but my animals here on the farm and my land, and just grounding and just being connected with spirit and the earth every day, and not allowing outside sources to tell me how to live, to tell me how to, you know, do this, that, the other, don't do this, you're going to accept this. I just really been disconnected from a lot of it. So we're going to clear our energy real quick. Call upon God, Creator, Source, the Creator of the universe, to fill me up with your divine white light, to fill me up with your presence, to allow me to tap into the energy of the collective for guidance, for encouragement, for awareness. And we are just thankful today for the opportunity that we do have, the opportunity to tap into the ethers, to be connected in our body, to be grounded in our body, to merge the intellectual mind, the ego, with the heart, so that we can live in more supreme harmony within ourselves and also the collective. And we give thanks in advance. So I feel like that's really what's happening if you take your free will and utilize this opportunity right now with the solar eclipses, is a softening of the mind, perhaps for those that have a lot of mind chatter, to soften that, to be open and to learn, to have new perspectives, to be able to shift our perspectives as we are in ever-changing times, and to stay open to that energy where we can have a youthfulness about us with that Gemini energy. And with all the retrograde energy at the same time as these eclipses. Eclipses are always, you know, that energy of taking out things that are not for the benefit of the whole, for the higher good. And then in between this, like, release. That's another retrograde energy, is just releasing all of those residual things that do not serve for your better good. And I know I've came a long ways, because I'm a sun sign Virgo, and I used to be so, my husband and I joke about it, analytical and planned and detailed and da-da-da-da-da, to the point where it was OCD, anxiety, which I do deal with anxiousness. I just have a better way of healing it, really. And I'm proud of that. And so that's what my passion is on this channel, is that we work with the energy to evolve us. So again, my passion is to learn and keep learning a perspective of evolutionary astrology, where we work with these energies to just keep leveling ourselves up as on a soul level, right? And then being able to enjoy, another thing with Gemini, playfulness in your life, laughter, being able to do things in your everyday that create a feeling of joy within you. Your commitment is being tested. First quarter moon. Well, in between these eclipses is very intense. It's been intense, right? For over a year now for many of us. But I believe this slowdown was actually, from a bigger perspective, was to get people to slow down. A lot of us have been going on automatic pilot, unknowingly or not. And so I believe this pause on a spiritual perspective was allowing us the time and opportunity to slow down, to reevaluate what our commitments are. And the ultimate test for me to share today with you all is, are you leveling yourself up on a soul level? Are you finding value in yourself? Are you committed to yourself? Because it's really the opposite of what many of us in our belief systems have been taught, to be people pleasing, to put all of our power within somebody else, within other structures, within belief systems, right? With the government, the religion, the big pharma. The ultimate test here is, are you starting to listen to your own intuition, to your own compass? Are you committed to yourself? Because if you're not, that's where you're going to feel the testing energy. Are you so committed to information that it's information overload? And then that test, you know, it's never a fail. But in order for us to keep leveling up and trusting our own intuition and our own guidance that Spirit created right within us, our own immune system too, right, is to make sure that we're being the observer of all of that. And what I always say on my channel is, your biggest commitment should be yourself, putting value in yourself, knowing that you're a spiritual being and that you are worthy of good things. We all are. And it's been so out of whack for so long that we're starting to see. That's another thing that's happening on the collective, is many of us are starting to see more and more how far out of whack the things have been with humans. It's always a human issue, right? So let's see. Let's do a chakra one and a mystical shaman one. So thankful. I haven't even sat here. I usually do cards for myself every day. And because I've been so physically, and it's not a bad thing, it's what I've needed at this time. Like, I've been so physically just out the door, and my prayer meditation's been sitting outside listening to the birds and having my coffee and allowing, you know, just listening to myself. But I've really missed coming on, and I hope everybody's doing well. Utilize this energy with the eclipse energy to, what is it you need to renew in your life? And a lot of us have been shifting our values, started in Taurus season, especially with Uranus there, and being open and adaptable to the changes. Again, always following your true north, not what somebody outside of you, especially these structures that are falling. We don't want to grip onto, even on alternative media, we don't want to grip onto what everybody's agenda is telling us to go by. We got to really take these first 2 weeks of June, as we will move in, like Venus already moved into Cancer, because the sun will move into Cancer on, It's going to be after the eclipse, but let's see which day. 20th. It'll be Cancer season. So about values, home, hearth, the nurturing mother energy. Right now we have that opportunity. I swear this is what's happened, is that intellectual, egoic mind is really got the opportunity with your free will to merge with your heart. And I feel like I'm more me than I've ever been in my life. So, workaholic, blue chakra. I want to see what this says, because the blue chakra is about speaking our truth from a heart-centered space. So, workaholic, first thing that comes to mind for me is to make sure that you are not being a workaholic, making sure that you're taking time for yourself, making sure that you're taking time to do something that's creative, that's bringing you joy in this Gemini season, and allowing that to transform you. That could be something that is being eclipsed. Like, I need to rethink on where I am a workaholic. And for me, I've been aware of that too, going, am I just doing too much? No, I'm doing exactly what my body's telling me to do. Where I am in the state that I'm in, you know, we go into long winters, and so getting out in vitamin D every day, you know, with the sun. This card is about truth, communication, loyalty, serenity, faith, spirituality, creativity, and expression. The cards of the 5th chakra, the throat chakra, reveal at the core level matters of communication. Perfect with this Gemini eclipse. This includes creative focus and your ability to be heard and understood. Being able to communicate the truth you feel in your heart will bring forward all of the positive attributes of these cards. When you deny your heart's knowledge, challenges will present themselves. So follow your true north, which is always in your heart. Here you will find the definition of personal leadership, redefine beliefs that no longer serve you. Okay, that makes sense. Because of that lunar eclipse and the South Node in Sagittarius, we are being asked, well, what did you believe in before? Because your belief systems are probably being rocked right now. I know many people thought that physicians, whether they knew it or not, were just going by a program in the United States, specifically Western medicine, was never to heal anybody. And then they're indoctrinated into the school systems. And like I've said to somebody recently, and I've said this in the past to many other people, the more you go to a doctor, which I'm not telling people not to go, so I do not replace any medical advice that you may need. But the more you go, the more you search for something wrong with you, the more in Western medicine specifically, I don't know about other places, they will try to find something wrong with you. And eventually, they will find something wrong. So that's a seeking outside of yourself. That, use caution with that, because it's about being in your truth and speaking your truth from a heart-centered space. The earthy brown of creation mixes with inspirational violet. This card indicates one of the most powerful manifesting energies. Now you are very prolific. If what you are creating stalls, you may need to recharge. Know your limits. And that's another thing in between these eclipses. I was going to tell this to you guys. I'm feeling and tapping into the energy also within myself, is that if it is your body needs to rest in the middle of the day, listen to it, because you will feel much more renewed if you just lay down and take a little, even if it's for 20 minutes, a renewal type of energy. And when you awaken, you will feel much more balanced, much more rejuvenated. And so I know that a lot of people are feeling very exhausted. So make sure that even if you say, I'm not a napper, well, be a napper if your body tells you to be. So Brad Blueberry, that's what they call this. entity, energy, being that represents this workaholic card. Brad Blueberry paints and paints and paints. He has no time for anything other than perfecting his art. An elder Blueberry reminds Brad that one day he will be old and shriveled too, so he'd better live life to the fullest. Brad takes the advice and discovers that having fun enriches and sharpens his art. So again, like I just said with the Gemini season, find time for joy. Find time for playfulness. That's that youthfulness energy with Gemini. He finds out that life is what makes work valuable. Are you waiting to complete your career before you live your life? Busy work may be helping you hide from real issues. Am I working too much and suffering from burnout? Is there something important that I'm avoiding doing? So again, are you avoiding your shadow work by diving into being a workaholic? I know my father lost his father very young, 2 years old. And my father still to this day does this very thing. He very rarely will stop and go do something that's not only joyful with him, but his wife, because he's busy and dived into work all the time. Oh, he likes it. No, he's buried his emotions into being a workaholic and not dealing with the inner things that he needed to. So the key ideas here are feelings of inadequacy, transformation indicated, not being fulfilled by work, heeding warnings, refreshing your mind to improve your work. So there is, again, that intellect is coming up again. So it's clarity. We need clarity. Over analyzing, being overly intellectual isn't good for anybody. And so make sure that you are having fun, surrounding yourself with things that bring you joy, whether it be friends, utilizing a talent of yours, whatever that is. So that is about communication, not burying yourself into work. And again, like I said in the beginning, many people before this pause were just work, pay your bills on autopilot, busy here, busy there. And because the collective have been asleep at the wheel for so long, is why I believe on the higher perspective that 2020 and 2021 have been the way they are right now. So all about that. And then making sure also with this card that you're speaking your truth, because the commitments that are being tested are right within you. It's not because you're going to fail, but how are you being in your integrity? How are you being the co-creator? And like this says, you have an opportunity to manifest what you like. My husband's finally doing something that he actually likes, and he seems happier. And so I'm thankful for that. We're going to do another I Am. Thanks so much for joining me today. Give this a video a like. Give me a comment. Let me know what you're releasing, what your vision is for renewal with this energy in between the eclipses. And I will be back on for the Sabian symbol for this Gemini solar eclipse happening on the 10th of June. Too many. I don't know if you guys can hear my puppy snoring. I've been doing a lot of nurturing again with this moon representing, you know, is a symbol of Cancer. A lot of nurturing for me. A lot of, you know, I bought 3 more chicks and one of them has had issues. I've been nurturing her 3 times a day. Adding on to my current run. I babysat my grand weasels. My daughter has ferrets and a cat, so I babysat them over the weekend. And I was busy, but actually it's very joyful for me. So that's what I've been tapping into. So let me know if you're a returning listener, what you guys all been up to, how you been feeling. Are you committed to yourself? How do you think you're doing for the test of your soul? And are you committed to yourself? Are you too much of a workaholic to where you're not, you know, allowing joy? Are you speaking your truth? Are you going by your own compass? I am aligned with the universe, and that'd be a great time to be that, because you will be pushed, pulled, dragged if you don't. Work with the energy. allow this renewal with the eclipses to purge out anything. I know I'm feeling like I need to purge even in the physical. I've got some ideas within me of, I need to get rid of some things. So not only on the physical, but once you align to the universal flow and allow the energies to work with you, not against you, and you have an understanding that you're here for a purpose, you're here on a soul's journey, and once you get on that path, get aligned with the universe, a lot of things just become like you call in. And it's a great time as well in between these eclipses to not say that, and I've done this in the past, I don't need protection. I need guidance because I'm already protected, because I know I'm a child of Creator, Great Spirit. And so I'm here just like you are to do good, to be abundant in good things, to be creative, to have fun, to be joyful, to be childlike, like the Gemini energy. And once you get in that universal alignment, that truly is, like this says, the opportunity to manifest and start being the co-creator that we are all here intended to be. We've been hijacked. Don't beat yourself up. When we know better, we do better. So I want to send this to you guys with so much love. Make sure that you pay close attention to the channel, because the Sabian symbol for this solar eclipse will be coming up shortly. I have not recorded it. Until then, let me know how you're doing in the comments. I send this to you guys with so much love. Shalom.